Namaste. This is Tracy with BuddhaLiciousYoga.com. Sunday morning yoga. Let's flow through some poses that'll help us relax ourselves and get through the week with grace, joy, ease, and abundance. Yoga is one of those things that can help you let go of things that no longer serve you. What happens is when we're moving through the poses and breathing, we're unlocking stuck and stale energy. And every time we exhale, the ability to let it out of the body happens. We're going to start in easy pose. Come and sit down on your mat. If you need props, get your props. Kind of move around so you feel stable, your tailbone, your sit bone sitting into that mat. Bring your legs in as close as possible. If this bothers your knees, you can do several things. You can take blocks and plant them under your knees. You can stretch your legs out. You can loosely do this and lean back just enough so that you don't feel pressure in your knees. Whatever you decide to do, go ahead and get there. Take your palms down on your thighs, palm side down, and go ahead and relax your eyes and your shoulders. The first thing we're going to do is just check in with our body, scanning it from the crown of the head all the way to the toes. And what we're looking for is any aches, any old injuries that may flare up, any new pains, any new injuries. And when we find them, if we do, we're going to make a mental note to be kind and to not push past that limit on those injuries. We're not looking for pain. We're looking to stretch. We want to come out of our comfort zone, but we don't want to go into the pain zone. Now, while the palms are down, the warmth of the thighs is sending energy through the hands all the way up to the brain, and it signals the brain it's okay to relax. So we'll stay here a few more moments. We call this the mudra of abiding calm when the palms are down. We're going to take a few moments here, scanning that whole body, looking at those injuries and being kind. When we practice and it bothers them, we'll pull back because we don't want pain. Now we're going to switch our focus from our body and scanning it and move on over to the breathing. I want you to pay attention to your breath for a moment. Notice how the inhales and exhales happen. Notice if they're choppy, if you feel that you're not able to expand your breast a whole lot on an inhale. Just pay attention to it. And then I want you to turn your palms up so that the backs of your hands are resting on your thighs. We call this the mudra of open receptivity, because when the palms are up, something can be gently placed in the hand and something gently taken out. And now we're going to take a slow inhale through the nose and out through the nose. If you're new to this, you may want to count to 4 on an inhale so you know it's an even inhale. And out from 4 so it's an even exhale. And I want you to continue doing that. Even when I'm speaking, I want you to focus in on your breathing. I want you to inhale slowly through your nose and exhale out through your nose. If you're someone who practices the Ujjayi pranayama, that yoga breath where it's a deep inhale coming from the diaphragm to the back of the throat, then do that. And then exhaling out and pulling the diaphragm in. Whatever breathing pattern you are practicing, the inhales make the belly expand out like a balloon. It fills up. And when you exhale, it pulls in like a deflated balloon going in. You want to continue with that. It's very important that you focus in on the breathing. What actually makes what we're doing different from just stretching is the breath and movement uniting. That's what makes the asana. Continue with the breathing pattern you've chosen, and you can always switch or mix them up, whatever works for you. Just focus in on that breath. And then you're going to bring the palms to the heart center and let the chin come slightly down towards the chest. Relax through the shoulders. I want you to set an intention for your practice. What is it that you want to explore today? What is it that you want to let go of today? Sit that intention down into your heart center. And then as you practice, just keep that in mind. We're going to flutter the eyes open and look towards me. I'm not able to, because of copyright reasons, play music, but you can. So go ahead, turn your music on and let it play while we flow, whatever music you like. If you've ever taken one of my yoga classes, you know that you'll hear anything from country to rap to R&B to instrumental, whatever flows through. So you go ahead and play that music. Let me just walk you through your practice. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale, open the mouth, and let's get it started. Interlace the hands, and you're going to inhale and send your arms strong, long forward, and drop your head between. And then exhale, push your chest forward, lift all the way up. We're going to warm the body up as you exhale, bring your fingertips all the way down. Inhale, reach all the way up to that sky. And when we get here, crisscross those hands, press into one another, and then lean over towards that right side. Keep the arms long and strong. Inhale, come back up. Switch the crisscross, reach up, and then exhale, take it over just a little bit. Come on back up. Release your hands down to your knees as you exhale and lean back, hollowing out through the belly. Inhale, push your chest forward. Exhale, press back a few just like that, just warming up that body. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Come on forward on an inhale and stay here. Exhale, inhale, lean over to that left and then come in center. Let's warm up that lower back, breathing in and out. As we get a little bit of age on us, our body can begin to stiffen up. And even if you're somebody who exercises a lot, what can happen is it's called overuse. Come forward, stop here, and go to the other way. The body begins to feel all of the effects of all that amazing exercise, and it's okay. That's why we're here, just allowing ourselves the space to release that tension and that stress. When we come to the front, you're going to stop. And I want you to take your hands and push down on your knees and lean forward. Relax your shoulders. Relax them back. Take your hands off your knees and gently start to come forward. If this bothers you in any way and it's painful, stop and go to the place where you don't feel pain, but you do feel a little uncomfortableness, because we want to stretch. Drop that head. Inhale. Exhale. The longer we're here with the exhales, you may find that you can go a little bit lower. No worries if that's not your reality. Just be here. Breathe in and out. Go ahead and walk it back. Come on back up, sitting up nice and tall. And then take the hands out to the side. Inhale, reach them all the way up. Lean over to the right as much as you can. Let your right hand press into the mat. Keep your chest lifted. Reach those fingertips. Breathe slow. Relax the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Every time you exhale, see if there's more space to go a little bit lower, stretching that side waist. Breathe in slowly and out even slower if you want. Perfect. And then we come up, up, up. And let's start to go to the other side. First lean, then plant that hand. Reach up, open your heart. Breathe in and out. You're pushing your hand into that mat, but you're reaching up and finding space to get that open there. Don't forget that breathing pattern. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Perfect. Go a little bit more if you can. Come all the way up. And this time we're going to dive forward, seeing if there's a little bit more space than when we walked our hands forward. No worries if it's not. Drop that head down. Breathe in and out. Warming that body up. Keep your upper body the same, but take your hands out to the side. Holding here. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands back forward. Inhale, take your hands to the side. Exhale, bring them forward. You're just kind of sliding them around on an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, you may find you're going lower and lower. No worries if that's not the case. Perfect. We're going to take it out and hold it here. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can't bring them and start walking them towards the back of you. And pressing the fingertips in. So the more you press your fingertips in and relax your shoulders, you may find a little bit more fold. Drop that head so you're not holding tension in the neck. And slowly start to come up. When you come up, you're going to lean back, turn your hands towards you, plant them into the mat, lean back, take your feet into the mat, coming into tabletop, relax your shoulders, inhale here, exhale as you push yourself up, lifting up off the mat, right into this reverse tabletop. Your hands can line up with your wrist and your shoulders, or you can have them further behind you if that works best for you. What I want you to focus on now, though, is pushing your feet into the mat and lifting up, taking your shoulder blades towards one another. Drop that head all the way back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. As the exhale happens, go ahead and bring your sit bones back down, but take your feet super wide. You may need to push your hands back, move them back a little bit. Press your chest up. Inhale here, and then take the windshield wiper. Drop the leg down. Come on up and drop to the other side. Keep that going. Keep the breath flowing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Your amazing music flowing in the background. Or maybe not. One more each way. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and bring our feet together, bring your hands up. So what I want you to do first is take your hands, your spidery fingertips, lift up, push your sit bones back, and then bring your feet together. Coming into Baddha Konasana bound angle pose. I want them super close because the focus now is going to be on releasing tension from the shoulders first before we fold forward. So to first take a little butterfly, sit up tall. Hold on to your ankles, inhale here, and drop your head back, opening up. Breathe in and out. You're holding to your ankles, but you are allowing your upper body to drop back. This is the most amazing stretch for the shoulders. I tell people all the time, if you carry a lot of tension in your shoulders, this is where you want to come and sit for maybe 5 minutes, just inhaling and exhaling to release the tension from your shoulders. We're going to be here another 3 breaths. You're holding on to your ankles, but you are just leaning back, and you should feel this immense stretch happening through the shoulders. Don't forget to breathe, though. One more. Exhale as you come forward. Now your feet this close in may be too much for you to fold forward, so take them out a little bit. If it could stay there, great. You have options here. Hands can stay on the ankles and elbows go on the inner thighs. This opens up the thighs a little bit more, but some people prefer peace fingers on the big toes to fold more, and some wrap their hands around. If you're new to it, just play around and see which one works best for you, but the goal is to come as far forward as you can. I personally like hands on the ankles, pressing on the inner thighs with my elbows because that opens my hips more. I may not be able to fold as far forward, but that's okay. I like the opening in the hips. So whichever feeling you want, give it that. And don't hunch, relax, and breathe in. Keep that breathing. This lower back should feel some release in this forward. Perfect. And now we're going to come on up. We're folding again, but this time without our feet together. Let's take it wide. So lean back and take it out wide. I like to go ahead and spidery fingertips and make sure I push my hips back. Get your legs out as wide as you're able to. If you have props and you want a block to come forward, get your block. This is what the blocks look like in case you're not sure what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you how you can incorporate the block, but you might not need it. The first thing we're going to do is make sure that our knees are going up, our thighs are rolled towards the back, and our feet are flexed. Inhale and reach your hands out and up, and then come on forward. Push your hips back and reach forward. Now this is where, if reaching forward bothers you, you can be here with your hands, with your elbows on the block. Or some people are like, no, I can go a little forward more, but I'd rather connect my head because it doesn't connect to the mat. And you can connect it right here. Stay right here and understand that yoga looks different for each person. I'm noticing that when I scroll through social media, I see a bunch of beautiful young and thin women, and they're able to do all of these things that my body just does not do anymore. Some of the things my body never did. And instead of me just looking at them going, woe is me, I just say, well, I'll just use prompts so I can get what I need, but I'm using what will work best for me. So this block right here lifts the floor up to me, and I'm getting what I need. I'm still feeling the stretch in my inner thighs. You keep breathing. Remember, even when I'm talking, I want you to focus in on inhales and exhales. Even if I'm not calling it, I want you to focus on it. I try to call it a lot so I can remind you, because it's easy to get off of the breath, and that's where we need to be. Let's stay here for a few moments more. Inhaling and exhaling, really feeling the stretch. And a lot of times when I'm here, I'm able to take the block on different levels, because the longer you're here, you're releasing more tension and stress with the inhales and the exhales, and you can go a little bit further. We're going to slide up. I'm going to go ahead and move that block on out of the way but it can be there when I need it. And here we go. Coming up, I'm going to lean back, and you are too. And we're going to bring ourselves into baby boat, where you can be right here with your hands under your knees. If you want to go into full boat and you know what it is, go for it. You can be here. You can be here. Full boat, hands are here. You're right here. Wherever you want to be, whether you're in full boat, whether you're taking more of a modified boat, or I like to call this baby boat. Perfect. A few more breaths in whatever boat you chose. Remember, in boat, our upper body is lifted. We're not leaning back. One more here. And let those feet come down. Spin them around, and let's come on to all fours. All fours for cat and cow. I'm going to turn to the side. You stay where you are. I'm just turning to the side so you can see what cat and cow looks like from the side view. Spread those fingers, pressing those hands into the mat. Dig those toes into the earth. Inhale, drop your belly down. Take your gaze up into a cow. I like to press the tops of the feet into the mat and arch up into cat. You take your cat and cow as long as you need it. Some people like to hold it a little bit longer and maybe take 2 breaths. This is a practice, which means you get to decide how to do it. And practice is perfect because you're practicing. When people say practice makes perfect, it can bring up anxieties if you don't feel like, oh, well, it's not perfect yet. So just make it perfect practice. Perfect. One more each way. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is let our back be flat. Bring our thighs in a little closer. Turn your hands out just slightly, like duck feet, little web feet. Relax your shoulders. Inhale here, and then drop your hips over to one side, and the knee is going to come up off the mat. Come on back to center. Drop to the other side. The knee does come up, but we're just really getting that stretch on the isoflex muscle. Just keep going side to side. Inhaling and exhaling. One more each way. Just preparing our bodies for more movement and faster flow, but starting off a little bit slower. We'll go one more each way. Utilizing inhales and exhales. Last one. Perfect. And this next pose is where we will come at any time in any practice where we need to take a break. Take those thighs wide, touch those toes, push those hips all the way back. Hands come forward, slide it, and let the forehead connect. We call it child's pose. Breathe in and out. Walk those hands forward. This is still an active yoga pose. You feel the stretch going through your shoulder blades when your hands are so far forward. You're pushing back so your hips are getting an opening. Breathe in. Breathe out. It also activates the third eye chakra because we have it pressed down on this mat, but it also invigorates the heart. Now what we're going to do is lift up our head. Keep your left arm on the mat. Bring your right arm back by your knee. Lift your body up enough. Reach the hands up. And then as you thread it through, come on back down into your child's pose. Let the side of your head come to that mat. Feel that stretch on the shoulder. Breathe, breathe, breathe. It's very important that you breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Trying to push back so your butt isn't all up in the air. Come on up. Let's bring the right arm forward. We're doing the other side. Lift up, 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 up. Thread through. Push the hips back. And the side of the head comes and you're breathing in and out. The more you push back, some of you are able to get your sit bones to touch your heels. That's wonderful if that's there. No worries if it's not. Focus more on the shoulder stretch and breathing. Perfect. Press it in, and what we're going to do this time is lift up. And I want you to take your arms out to the side and use spidery fingertips. And then push your chest forward, bend your elbows, bend, bend, bend. Inhale here, and then kind of take your left shoulder down, come on up, and right shoulder down, spidery fingertips kind of lifting up and taking it there. One more each way. Perfect. And then when we're done with that, we're going to bring it on up, bring our hands here, lean a little bit more forward. I'm going to turn back forward just for the sake of being back towards you, but you don't have to do anything. Stay right where you were. And then what you're going to do is dig your toes into the mat, walk your hands back. We're coming up off our knees into forward fold. Spidery fingertips, press, lift up, then walk your feet up. You're in the middle of the mat, hanging like a rag doll. Drop that head, bend your knees, and just hang right here. Breathe in and out. You can sway a little bit. Sometimes you need to in order to find the stability. If you're like me and you're practicing on carpet, no worries if you feel your balance is a little off. Just pay a little bit more attention. I'm not only practicing on carpet, I have 3 mats. So it makes it a little bit more wobbly, so I'm more focused on it so that I don't slip all around. Drop the head. Breathe in and out. Just hang like a rag doll. Stay here if you like. If you want to go a little bit more into a stretch, hold on to your elbows and straighten your legs out a little bit more. I was taught that your legs should be super close together, but I have seen yoga teachers teach where you can have a little bit more space between your thighs, and I think that's okay as well. It's more about feeling the stretch and being a little bit uncomfortable but not in pain. Perfect. You're going to use your spidery fingertips and look up. Now you're going to keep your feet where they are for now, but your hands are going to come forward, and then you're going to flatten them, and then you're going to step back right into Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Push those hips high, that head is low. Settling into it means you bend one knee deep, and one leg is straight. Stretching the calf on that side, and then switching it out, just feeling the stretch in downward facing dog. And then hold the dog. Inhale. Exhale. Your hips are high, your head is low, your elbows are towards your body. Pull the core in, but still allow yourself the space to breathe. The core in is to support the lower back. And then you're going to inhale and shift to full plank and go back to downward facing dog. If this is too much, I'm going to show you how you can modify it. You can connect your knees and push your hips back and come forward to more of a high cobra. You don't have to go down dog to plank. If that's not where you are, no worries. Be where you can be, and you will experience what you need to experience. I'm going to go back to downward facing dog, but you can always stay there. A few more like this. Breathing in, full plank. Exhaling out, full dog. Perfect. One more each way. And if you did have your knees down, come on back up and join us into downward facing dog. And hold that dog. And if holding dog doesn't work for you, then just keep your knees down. But if you're able to come to dog, come onto dog. And then you're going to walk your hands back to your feet. So here you are now at the back edge of the mat. I'm going to move up just because I'm too close to the wall. And if you are, you move up too. And drop the head. Put a little bend in the knees. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now if you want to go a little further, you can take your hands on your calves. Pull yourself down. Drop the head. Breathe. Perfect. You should feel that stretch going up the hamstrings. If you want a little bit more, lean back so you're on your heels and take your hands under your feet. Stand on those hands. Drop the head. Remember, this is your practice. Go where you need to go. This stretch is intense on the hamstring, so if you want that, do that. If you're a strong runner or cyclist, this is a place to come to make sure you're keeping the balance between being a strong cyclist and being a little bit flexible and not so tight. Bring your fingertips up, look forward, don't move your feet, walk your hands forward, and you're probably going to need to step your feet back a step or two to get back to down dog. Perfect. You're going to take your right leg into the sky. I have to bend because the wall is there. Lift it all the way up. Bend it so that now you have this nice opening. Stay right here if you want. But if you're adventurous and you want to flip the dog, flip the dog. You can have the legs straight. Full flip dog is knees bent, not wild style. So you can be here if you want wild style where one leg is long, go for it. But we're all going to come back. And bring that right leg back up. Bring that knee to the chest. Shift it, connect it. Dig the toes in and lift up the left leg. Look forward. Stay here if you want. Go here if you want. Inhale. Exhale. Now you can go to tiger's pose where you bend this back leg. Grab a hold of the top of the foot. And be here. Oh, did you hear my shoulder open up a little bit more? Perfect. Wherever you are, come back to leg up, hand forward. Put the hand down. Take the leg out. Top of the foot on the right presses in. Breathe in and out. Shift back. And start walking away from that top leg. Remember, you can use props or you can stay where it feels best. Inhale. Exhale. Pressing back. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is come on over, plant your right hand into the floor and lift up. Fix your clothes if you need to, like me. Push your hip forward and reach the fingertips up. Now use spidery fingertips or a block under your hand. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Perfect. Come on up, and when you do, this leg that's out to the side is going to come to the front of the mat. Low lunge. Now my foot is all the way off the mat, and it's okay for now because I'm not going to come up because I need the space. So come here, but if you want to scoot back, scoot back. But here we go, pushing forward with the hips, stretching the back hip flexor, or the back, this leg, the leg that's in the back. Breathe. Then you're going to shift forward, fingertips down, push your weight back, just the heel, drop the head. Inhale, exhale. Perfect. Inhale, relax your shoulders. Exhale, go as far down as your body will allow with your hips pressing back. Come on forward, bring your hands on the inside, turn those toes out and shift forward a little bit more. Now, I'm moving my foot over more and then turning it out because of the space between my hips, and I want to go to my elbows, but I don't want to be here. So I have to move my leg out a little bit, turn, and then come to the elbows. I could have chosen a block, but I've chosen to make sure my knee and my ankle and my toes are in the same by turning them out and moving it out. If you're able to go there here, go there here. But if I go there here, I need a block. And because I want the full expression, I'm just going to turn it out and modify it, make it look a little different, but I'm still getting what I need. Perfect. Come on up off of that. Shift that weight back. Take that foot back. Back on all fours, a cow and a cat. So set it up. Press the hands in. Inhale, down, down, down. Exhale, up, up, up. One more down, down, down. And all the way up. Perfect. Back to downward facing dog. So bring those fingertips forward. Push those hips back. Shift up off the knees. Press back. Walk the dog if you need to. Don't forget to breathe. We're right here. Now the option to just stay here, or if you want to shift forward, take chaturanga all the way down, connect the knees in high cobra, and then go back up. Do that. If you want to shift forward, go chaturanga up dog, down dog, you can do that too, or you can just stay in the dog. Up to you. Perfect. Exhale. Left leg to the sky. Because of the wall, I have to bend and lift. If you have the space to go straight, go straight. Heel comes over. Stay here. Or if the adventure is calling you, you can be wild style or bent knee to flip the dog. Breathe in and out. Push into that hand that's on that mat. Lift those hips. Perfect. Come on back around. Leg goes up. Inhale, bring it in. Shift, connect. Lean forward, lift, look forward. Stay here, or go here. Or bend and find tiger. Whatever works for you. Breathe. If you did take tiger, we're all going to go here first. Hand down. Leg out. Top of the foot. Push it back. Breathe. Go where it works best for you, but sit on back. Bring it on around. Plant that hand. Lift up. Push your hip forward. So press all of this forward. Feel the opening here. Reach your hand up. Remember, you may have needed spidery fingertips or, look at that, block. The block lifts the floor up, gives you what you need. Perfect. Come on up. This leg, instead of being here, it's gonna go here. You're gonna lean, reach, breathe. Perfect. Really feel that stretch. Hands come down, you shift forward first, then shift back, stretch it. Relax, relax, breathe, drop the head. Feel that stretch in the back. Perfect. As you come forward, hands on the inside. So if I wanted to keep it without turning the toes out, I could take the block and be here. But then see how this moves out? That's uncomfortable. It's easier for me to turn the toes so that the toes and the knees are in the right space, but I'm still keeping my hips forward and then dropping down to it. This may not work for you. You may be even more flexible and able to keep the toes forward. I don't want you to lean over to the side. That's a different stretch. We're here, stretching right in that hip flexor. Pull through the core. Inhale. Exhale. And when you've had enough, come on up, shift back, take that leg back, and then you're going to come and stand on your knees. We're coming to stand on our knees for camel pose. So what I'm going to do is turn to the back so you can see what it looks like, but you stay where you are. I'm turning to the back so you can see that one, dig your toes into the mat so your heels are up. Take your fist, this is level 1 of camel. Take your fist and press them into the small of the back. Rotate your shoulder blades together. Push your hips forward. Lift up your chest and you start to lean back with your head, but pushing your hips forward. Now you can stay here. Some people say, I got a little bit more, so you can hand on one heel and reach up and back with one hand. And you can be here for 3 breaths each, or maybe both of your hands go back and you press it here. The fullness of it, I don't do because my left knee is not good, but you would take the tops of your feet, you would lean back and plant both of your hands there, pushing hips forward. I'm not going to do that because my left knee does not like it, but I wanted to offer it to you because your body ain't my body, and you may be able to do that. You may want to stay here. Also, I forgot to offer to you, you can fold your mat up if you're on hardwood floors and your knees hurt. You keep there in your camel, just turn it back around. Camel pose. Perfect way to let go of that which no longer serves you, because what's happening is the heart is open. You're pushing the solar plex and the sacral chakra forward while opening up your heart, dropping back, opening up your throat chakra so that you can speak your truth. It's so amazing. Come on out of it, but it's real important to cat to cow from there. So come out of it, slide those legs back, cow pose, cat pose. That back might need this. One more each way. Then we're heading back to the dog. Fingertips forward, say, who let the dogs out? Drop the hips, rise up. Breathe in and out. Press. Now you can stay in downward facing dog for full 5 breaths. Or if you're like, I need me a flow, then you're going to shift forward. Chaturanga all the way down. Tops of the feet. Press. And go back to dog. Or if you're not a full chaturanga all the way down, girl, and you want to chaturanga to up dog, you can do that as well. Or you can just be right there and down dog. I'm coming all the way down because as my body ages, there's certain things it doesn't like to do. And it's not that I'm being lazy and not pushing it. I don't want to hurt it. It feels more like pain, so I just stop it. Stay here, breathe in and out. Now look towards your hands and you can hop through. Some of you will step through. Some of you will walk, 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 and be here. Forward fold, front of the mat. Come halfway up. Exhale down. Your first time rising all the way up. And hands to the heart. We're going to flow through Sun Salutation A, adding Warrior 1. You can modify it. I'll show you modifications. But if you know it and you want to flow it, go for it. Oh, I just made that up. If you know it and want to flow it, go for it. I think I'm going to put that on a shirt. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Perfect. Inhale, come halfway up. We're going to bend and step back to full plank if you're taking the full flow. Chaturanga. High cobra or up dog. Down dog. Right leg up. Bend it, send it forward. Back foot pressing in. Knee bent in the front. Rise into Warrior 1. Come on back down. Step back to plank or down dog. Chaturanga. Or high cobra. Down dog. Other side. Rise it up. Step. Before I wanted to show you modification. You can take it here, here, and slowly come up. And slowly go down. Let's say you're like, this is too much. Turn. Put that knee down. Shift back. Bring it here. Hands here. Drop the hips. And then go to the dog. Perfect. Breathe in and out. Inhale. Exhale. We're all going to shift forward to plank and come down to the mat slow your way. Chaturanga. Woo, hold it. Connect it. Tops of the feet. Press the hips in. Move your hands out a little bit. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Watch the neck. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold it up. Lift up those hands. Breathe. Press the hands. Let's go to child's pose. I want to talk to you about some thoughts that just came up because if you know me, then you know I'm a very transparent person. You go to child's pose. While flowing through this, I had so many negative thoughts try to take over. You're not good enough for this. You're too heavy for this. Look at you. You can't really do this. These people are going to think you're crazy. They can get better yoga teachers. All of that came in that moment of time. But what I decided is, I'm good at this. I've been teaching yoga in person for 11 years, and I've been blessed to honestly never have anybody say they didn't enjoy my class. And I've taught lots of places. So maybe the people who didn't enjoy it never said anything, but the people who did speak spoke up loud and spoke up clear. So here I am. I'm sharing this with you because whatever you do in your life, you may have these same imposter syndrome thoughts, and you're not an imposter. Just keep going. All right, we're in child's pose, and we're going to come up. It got really a little emotional, but come on, bring those knees. I'm not giving up on myself, not giving up on my craft, not giving up on Buddhalicious yoga. I just wanted to share that with you. From here, we're going to go to Warrior 2, but we're going to go from the mat. But if you want to flow through and go from your dog to plank to chaturanga up dog and leg up, go for it. I'm going to show how you can get to it without doing all of that. You can push your weight over to the side, left foot forward, fingertips down, dig the toes into the mat, anchor, hands come around in the front of the toe, come up and back. Either way, we'll all meet in Warrior 2 and stay here. Inhale. Exhale. And I wasn't saying any of that for kudos. I was just really deciding to be vulnerable, because I think that when we show up authentically vulnerable, we can connect with people more, because I'm not the only one feeling like an imposter in what they do. But I'm not an imposter, and neither are you. Palm up, reach up to the sky, and up and back. There are so many different types of yoga teachers, and there's space for all of us. Perfect. Stay here. Come back. Straighten out the leg. Push the hip back. Reach forward. Keep your chest lifted. And as you find your triangle pose, remember, mostly you're pushing your hips forward. Reach the fingertips up, up, up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Perfect. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. Keep your legs straight. Press into them so you can lift back up and take reverse triangle, where the legs are straight and you're reaching up and back, stretching it. And then as you come back, bring your hands to your hips, because you're going to turn your front toes so that now both of your toes are facing forward. You may need to shorten your stance. A wider stance will help you better to fold, but you decide which works best for you with a little bit in the knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold it into a wide straddle and drop the head. Go to where it works. So the wider it is, you'll find that you can get further into it, but mindful that you're not hyperextending. Inhale. Exhale. Perfect. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to come halfway up and plant your right hand so it kind of lines up with your nose. Keep all of your lower body the same, but reach up and open your heart and your chest. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Hand down, replacing it, lining it up. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Don't move your lower body. High. Perfect. And down. This time, I'm going to take my right hand over to my left ankle, if that's available, or as close over as possible, and then reach the hand up. So I'm low. Maybe bring it over to the hip and twist it a little bit more. Perfect. I'm going to let that go and head on over to the other side. Inhale. Ah, this feels good. Exhale. Good old stretch. Come on back. Coming halfway up, then I'm going to come back to the front. So you come back to the front, to the front, to the front. When I used to teach, I used to always have to say, to the front, to the front, to the front. And back to Warrior 1, we're going to go. Bend the knee, rise on up, right into Warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale. We're in the Warrior 1 on the other side. But no worries, we're going to make that work for us. Inhale, bring the hands down. Turn the toes, move that foot over, because you got to step back to either your plank to chaturanga to up dog to down dog, or you may go straight to down dog. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to warrior two on the other side. I'm going to modify it, but you can go ahead and bring that leg up to the sky. I'm going back on the knee, push the weight over, foot forward, fingertips down, modifying to get there, but you can go there in the way that works best for you. That's one of my gifts. I'm able to teach multiple levels in the same class. Inhale. Exhale. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I was just pointing it out for me. Perfect. Breathe in and out. Palm up, reach up and back. I'm definitely not a person that thinks I'm so such a much and nobody else can do it. I know we all have these talents, and we may have the same general talent. Straighten that leg out. But the way you express it is never going to be like somebody else's, because you're you. Reach, 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 reach. You bring your uniqueness. I bring my uniqueness. They bring theirs. And we find our tribes. Inhale. And we all soar. Exhale. Inhale. Shimon up. Keep it straight. Reverse your triangle. Perfect. Now this time when we come forward, we'll come back, we're going to go to goddess pose. So you're going to bring your legs in, but turn your toes out. Tuck that tailbone. Sink down. Whenever I go to this pose, I think about Jen, one of my amazing in-person students that comes to goddess pose, and she makes it work. So whatever works for you. If you want to take your goddess pose and play with it, play with it. But take your rightful place, you goddess. Inhale. Exhale. Let that goddess energy empower you and remove your negative inklings. I'm doing it, letting it go. I'm good at this. Perfect. Hands here. Push your butt out. Come down here. Take one shoulder over. Up, up, up. Other shoulder. Perfect. Come on back, hands down. Walk it on around. We're going to go to warrior one. So we're going to bring ourselves back forward, bend the knee. Warrior one. Only for a few less breaths because we only did it on the other side once. We already been here, so just 1, 2. Hands down. Step it back to down dog. Perfect. Shift forward, all of us. Knees connect. Take them tight. Push the hips back. Perfect. And then we're going to come up and decide on your hip opener. There's several. There's frog. I'll show you all of them and then you can decide. There's frog. Wide, wide, wide. You can use a block if you want. Push back. You can be here. There's pigeon on the front. Here. There's, nope, my pigeon needs to be on the back. So it's more like here. There's double pigeon, where you sit, connect, and fold. I'm gonna go ahead and stay here. Double pigeon, which is my least favorite, but the most needed for my hips, and it doesn't bother my knee as much. Wherever you are, breathe in 10 breaths and switch. If you went to frog, you got 20 breaths because you're in frog. But be there, be honest, own it. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, you did do double pigeon. This leg is out a little bit more. It's not locust pose. Lotus pose is a pigeon. All right, I'm switching. I did 10 quick breaths. Now this side offers a little bit of a more of a opening for me. This is my easier side. Easier in terms of it doesn't bother my knees at all. If you have a side that's tighter, Just practice longer on that side. Getting it a little bit looser. Whee. Breathe. Perfect. And then these types of hip openers, sometimes really angry emotions can come up. It's okay. It's just stuck energy in that place. Let it go. When you've gotten to 10, come on out of it. Wherever you are, come join me on your sit bones and shake the legs out. Stretch them out. Move the flesh from around your sit bones. Flex through your feet. Inhale up to the sky. And here we go, folding. And this is where this beautiful prop can come into place. You can just get an old tie for a strap. It comes around your feet and you can stretch down here if meeting your feet is not available. This loving strap can help you. Or if you're like, I don't have a strap, then be here. Be here. Grab a hold of the ankles and pull down. Just make sure that you're sitting directly on your sit bones and you're lifting up and folding and keeping your back flat. Perfect. One more. Let it go. Let's lay on back. We're ending this thing up. But I always think that an inversion is necessary in any practice. So I'm turning to the side. This is where blocks can come in handy if you have them, if you're not an avid inversioner. But you're going to come down, and if you like, all I feel like doing today is this, then you just do this. You're still getting what you need. If you know how to get into shoulder stand, take shoulder stand. If you want to go a little bit, you don't want a full shoulder stand, but you're like, I do want more of an inversion. And you have blocks, lift up, take them here, where they're right in the lower part of your back, and lift your legs up. If you're able to do handstand, headstand, forearm balance, which is what I want to do, go ahead and go for it. But this is the time in practice where you are upside down, somehow, some way. Whether you've decided to do it using the wall, using the floor, whatever you are doing, you just got to go upside down. If you're coming with me, you know how to do it. You know, you just want to match the elbows to fingertips. Make a basket, drop the head in it, lift up, walk up, stay here maybe here. Maybe you shift a little bit more and lift both of the legs up. Make them neat and straight. Just be in an inversion. I self-named myself the queen of inversion because even if you come to my general class, somehow you're going to get yourself upside down because it's important. The feet to head, blood going that way, takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds. We're not going to be here that long. But it's just a way to rejuvenate. Call this free time in class. People are doing some type of inversion, playing with them. Whatever works. Breathe in and out. Wherever you are in your inversion, you're going to start to come out of it. If you did go upside down in any type of way, child's pose. If you went to shoulder stand, fish pose. So you'd come down, even if you had your blocks under you. I'll show you fish pose, just in case you're like, what is that? Or you may be having a brain fart. You can't remember it. So what you would do is you sit on your hands, elbows into the mat, straighten out your legs, lift up your chest, and let the crown of the head touch. Very important for any type of back inversion. So if you went to shoulder stand, if you just had your legs up, this is important. Throat open now. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Wonderful. Now, we're going to all be on our backs and bring our knees into our chest. Give ourselves a hug. Rotate around. Squeeze it in. Ah, nice old hug. Lift the head up. Head back down. Take the thighs out. Make the baby happy. Peace fingers on the big toes if that's what works for you. And take the baby happy. Perfect. We're preparing for Another amazing week. Pull it in. Remember to say this to yourself often every day. Life is so good and it just keeps getting better. I saw that on a channel that I like to follow. You Are Creators on YouTube. And ever since I saw it and been saying it, it's true. Life is so good and it just keeps getting better. So I wanted to share it with you. Bring the arms out, make the letter T, make sure you have the space, and then drop the legs over to one side while you look to the other side. Get that stretch going. Perfect. And then up you go. Drop it, look away, get that stretch going. Perfect. Come on back up to the center. Hug yourself again. Love, love, love. Then you're gonna rock yourself up. We're gonna end in easy pose. So I think I was turned to the side. You might have been too. I wanted to end in easy pose so you could see the difference in your easy pose from the beginning to now. When I first started, my back was a little tight, my knees didn't like it. But now, after all that, my body is loose. The more you practice yoga, the more your body memorizes the poses, that cellular memory, and it stays open. When you stop, it can get back stiff. So another moment of transparency. Started teaching yoga in 2009. Taught well, all the way up until COVID hit. March 15th, 2020 was my last in-person yoga class at American Family. And at this other location, a private gym I used to teach at that since had to close its doors. And I tried to go online, but I couldn't get people to come. And I thought, oh, I'm just pitiful. It wasn't that. I didn't try hard enough because it's difficult online. But we've gotten a lot more used to it, and some people like it. So my ICA, my ideal customer client avatar, is somebody who loves to practice online, and perhaps that's you, and somebody who needs that personal space. Maybe you're introverted. Whatever it is, if I can help you in any way, reach out to me so that I can, help you, because that's what I'm here for. I'm not going anywhere this time. I'm really loving it. So let's relax our eyes. And what I want us to do is take a few moments of visualizing how this week is going to go. Nobody can read your thoughts, so you can be really authentic about how you want this day to go. I'm going to shut my mouth. Just visualize. I want you to see every day. Visualize how you want it to be. And remember, you can be as outlandish as you want, because it could happen. Don't hold yourself back. Now we're going to bring our hands to the heart where we seal and thank the God or the spiritual choice of our understanding for this amazing week we're about to flow right into. I made sure mine was grand. It was the most. And I'll let you know next Sunday all of the amazing things that did happen from that. Visualization is key. And then we bring our hands to the forehead and sealing this and saying namaste, which just means my light respects your light. I'm so grateful for your talent and your practice. And I love you. Not just, no cap, I do. Have an amazing week. I'll see you. Well, there is class on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the visualization for the week, I do on Sundays. We do other things on the other days. Bye.